$3.95. And when it came down, it just missed $3.95 and went down below it, and then you saw just the boom, the
Vai, louco, olha aqui, entra junto com a gente.
A mulher lá do coqueiro veio. Tu olhou o celular?
Não.
Manda o pix pra ela.
Tu não tinha acertado com o outro?
Não, mas ela tá primeiro e o outro tem cachorro grande.
Tu falou pra ele? Já despachou ele?
Não. Cheguei. Ó, tinha uma na frente aí e aí ela veio e acertou. Cachorro grande, falou, mas o negócio, o problema é a limpeza, a pelinha, fazer muito barulho aí lá. Vê se o celular aí vê. É tudo, deixa eu baixar, pelo amor de Deus. Como é que nós chamamos?
Eu não sei, cara. Sei lá, eu não gravo o número de quem não me interessa.
Não, aí. Você levou o carregador?
Não.
Peraí, minha filha. Agora tá cheio de...
Vou ver, tu achar.
Essa aqui, né? Essa aqui, ó. Essa mulher.
Não salva. É sério que eu quero estar no banheiro? Ele vai voar aqui. Dá meu celular. Bora, bora, bora. Ixi, tá cheio de mosquito, mano. Oh. Cadê meu chinelo? Cadê meu chinelo?
Tá aí em cima da caixa aí. Tem nem o nome disso aí.
deixa me dar.
Não tem lugar.
Coloca logo, senão vai estragar essa comida.
Não tem lugar.
Então vai ficar aí?
Não tem lugar, cara.
Tá, dá um jeito. Tira o que dá pra salvar de lá e põe isso aí.
It just collapsed. Oh, those poor people. Oh, God.
Michael, we have seen the entire lower half of Manhattan just completely covered in smoke, debris, dust, everything well south of Canal Street.
It's incredible. Okay, I'm gonna have to go find people who need help. I don't think I'm one of them. You okay, sir? Okay. Can I just get a tube off your respirator? Can I get a tube? I'm just gonna couple of clean breaths. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Back to you. This is the car I hit behind. It saved my life. The right thing to do is this one. There's all these noises. I don't know what it is. They say someone needs help.
Yeah, Mike! Mike! Mike, over here! Yeah!
Anybody need a doctor?
Mike!
Don't have oxygen.
Hello, Doc.
Hey, that guy needs some oxygen. If someone can share it with him.
10-4.
Thanks.
Negative, negative. I just told Wanda we will be forced to stay on the ground. We're good until about 11:15, 45 minutes.
Does that mean, as well, I would guess that anybody who is in Manhattan will be walking?
Yeah, if they
Yeah,
can.
Dick
Get
Oliver
out.
reported from near the Brooklyn Bridge before that that people were streaming across the bridge toward Brooklyn, but nobody coming back in.
I'm surprised that the Brooklyn Bridge is not there.
I think.
Or maybe to pedestrians,
yeah.
you know.
I'm sure that they closed the Midtown Tunnel and they closed the other bridges across the East River, and of course the Hudson River crossings as well. And again, to repeat, there is no plane taking off in America today as a consequence of this unbelievable terrorist act. Mario Bosques has gone to Beth Israel Hospital downtown.
We need fuel, right? So we gotta go to somewhere. You need fuel, right? They want us to land. They just want us, they're evacuating 30 Rock, so they just want us to land. Wait, you want to go back and get your phone and stuff?
At this point, would you say that every police officer there are what?
see here are pretty much all emergency workers. Many of them that I have seen in the last 2 to 3 minutes, quite frankly, are coming out of here. And remember this, these are professionals. They're coming out of there looking literally stunned, in shock, many of them, struggling for breath, obviously in serious distress. Breathing problems are the biggest problem for those who manage to make it safely out of that area down below us. You can't see much more than a block south of me right now. And the World Trade Center probably stands. Emergency workers were trying just basically to get out of there, to survive. You could see that written in their faces. The situation was so desperate, they just wanted to get out of there. Now, many of them are beginning to regroup. A couple of them asked me where their commander might be. They're trying to get together and go back in there and try to take care of the people who obviously are in serious trouble. There's no other way to describe it. The language here, at times, if I slip into language which seems a little melodramatic, forgive me, but this is a circumstance which is very, very difficult to describe in many ways without sounding melodramatic. Certainly in more than 20 years of covering horrific events, this is something that I've never seen before. As we say, the emergency workers now beginning to try to gather themselves. Over there you can see a police emergency service unit. They're trying basically now to reestablish some kind of a safe perimeter. And many of the emergency workers basically just happy to be alive.
No, it is chaotic now in 2 cities. You have major buildings that have been evacuated. It's very difficult, obviously, to get phone calls through as you look at the Pentagon. And I suspect they're also getting a report as you look at these pictures of the Pentagon. And I, in all honesty, suspect you see them a little more clearly than I do. But part of the building appears to me, as I look at it, to have collapsed. That's the Pentagon. And those pictures are live at 10:40 Eastern Time.
The city hitting a portion of the Pentagon. We have not gotten any numbers in terms of injured or possible fatalities, but we'll get to those as soon as possible. But simply a crazy day here in Washington, as it has been in New York.
Mike, do you know anything about a report that we have here in New York that, according to the Capitol Police, a hijacked plane is en route to Washington now?
We've heard that report as well, and then we've also heard people saying that that is not so, that that's an erroneous report. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, but as you can understand, with a situation like this, there's all kinds of information flowing around. It's kind of hard to confirm what is absolutely accurate and what is not. We can tell you we've heard that, and we're checking it out.
We also heard that the Pentagon building itself at least partially collapsed. Do you know anything about that?
We've heard that as well, that perhaps the southern portion of the Pentagon, part of that has come down. Have not got numbers in terms of who may have been injured or killed, but we can tell you it's an unbelievable scene here in Washington, something that none of us ever thought we would see, as I'm sure people in your city never imagined to see either.
We can say the same thing here, John. Mike, that's for sure. First, the World Trade Center, one tower was hit by a plane, then another tower hit by a plane. Then we got word that the Pentagon was hit in Washington, and then the World Trade Centers collapsed. in Lower Manhattan. John Rowland's on the newsroom. John?
Well, Jim, I don't have much for you. I just have some sketchy information here that another explosion, a fourth explosion.
As long as it was not the New York or Washington area, or divert to an airport if that's what they wanted to do. I saw the blast at the Pentagon, not the blast take place, but moments after it, I'd been at National Airport trying to get up to New York, and you could see that smoke billowing out of the Pentagon. I could give you a little description of what it's like on the streets of Washington, because it was quite crowded trying to work my way back here to NBC. They have now given not only the White House and those key buildings like the U.S. Capitol, but at this point they've given all federal employees the word to leave their offices and get home. So there are traffic jams in Washington.
Okay, Bob, I'm sure you're going to get more information for us momentarily, but first we want to go to Jim Mikolashevsky at the Pentagon, who has some more information. Mick?
Katie, they're still clearing people away from the Pentagon. Still, security forces believe that there may be another incoming plane headed in the Washington region. But there was a very telling, dramatic...
Federal buildings all over the country would be, just on the safe side, would be
Jim, you have to wonder where the president is right now and where Mayor Giuliani is right now.
When we last saw the president, he had just taken off in Air Force One en route back to Washington. So he presumably is still in the air en route back to Washington. However, good question as far as Mayor Giuliani is concerned. One hopes that nothing untoward happened to the mayor.
Right, because wasn't he going to hold a press conference?
If he was down in that World Trade Center, perhaps we hope nothing personal.
The first building came down, and then the second building did as well, without any sound. And looking at this, there is a kind of a surreal quality, but that is the epicenter of a great, great national tragedy and a great loss of life. No question about it this morning.
You're talking about people who were hurt, perhaps killed in this blast. Many of them have been brought to area hospitals, including St. Vincent's Hospital. Bob Bazell is there. Bob, what's the latest?
Well, Katie, ambulances continue to stream in. Several New York City streets have been closed, major avenues have been closed off so that ambulances can continue to come in. In addition, the New York City subway system has now been closed down, and several buildings that were not involved in the World Trade Center area have been shut down, and people have been told to go home, but a lot of them are just wandering aimlessly on the street. Many people openly weeping and hugging each other. This is clearly is a time that...
I guess we're another explosion. They're handing out gloves and masks. The consensus is it's too unsafe to go in there. Gonna wait here until they bring some people out. With some firemen with some first aid stuff. Well, you know what? Why don't we just set this up as a little mobile hospital unit right here, okay? Suggestions for set up here for medical work? Think this is safe enough here?
Everybody else is sitting up here right now.
Okay.
Go. By all means.
They can do a...
The blast explosion was something because now there's a lot of police activity and sirens and more smoke rising from the ground, new smoke. So there was some kind of an additional explosion, but I don't know what it was. Definitely smoke was rising from the ground. Maybe it was a federal building or something like that. Okay, sweetie, I'll call you later.
Guys had a New York commercial jet possibly hijacked or possibly vandalized, so it ended up crashing and hitting the area by officials on the scene that crashed into the Pentagon this morning. But Pentagon officials the National Command Center at the Pentagon is still working. The rest of the building, though, has been evacuated. We're understanding a lot of the damage is to the outer ring of the Pentagon.
Hines, back to you. When you saw the collapse of the building, were there people around you? And if so, what was the reaction on the part of the crowd?
You know, because there were a bunch of people who were on the bridge standing and watching, and when they saw it, oh my God, the whole building just went over. Because at that point beforehand, you couldn't really tell what had happened to the first tower because there was just so much smoke that you just see smoke and one tower, and then all you saw was smoke after that. Smoke over all of Lower Manhattan, you know, enveloping all of the financial district, you know, going over the East River. And, you know, as I was driving in, I was hearing reports of people saying papers were flying over Brooklyn. This is an hour ago. So I can imagine what, you know, this tremendous calamity. But people, you know, the parking garage where I parked in Queens, it's at Queens Plaza. It provides, you know, usually a lovely view of the World Trade Center. People, just dozens and dozens of people were running upstairs as I was running downstairs to try to get a view of this. I was running downstairs to the subway. Subway is a little bit of a chaotic mess. You know, most of the trains are not running into Manhattan right now. And so you got a lot of people on the platforms wondering what's going on. People are trying to make calls from payphones and they're not getting through, you know. And
Cell phones aren't working, do you know, did you try
I
that?
saw a lot of people on cell phones. I mean, I think it's very hit or miss. It's very hit or miss. Some people were talking intently. Everybody's talking about this. I mean, nobody's...
I mean, New Yorkers were a tough bunch, but even this has brought the city almost to a standstill, if not a standstill.
Sure. I mean, we're on the Upper East Side, as I was saying before, but there...